can't sleepwalk through these. And when you come to court, you should review your police report. You should review the ticket. You should review the video.
This case looks simple on paper, a civil traffic infraction for following too closely. But what you're about to see is anything but routine. An officer who didn't review the video, a defense attorney who did, and a courtroom where preparation becomes the deciding factor. The fine is small, the charge is minor, but credibility, procedure, and proof are about to take center stage. Watch closely, because in this courtroom, the smallest details will matter more than anyone expects.
We're ready to proceed. Madam Prosecutor?
I'll waive opening argument.
Okay, certainly. We don't need any. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You may call your witness.
I'll call Deputy Raymond to the stand.
Good morning, sir. Do you swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
Thank you. Have a seat. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Deputy Jesse Raymond.
And spell your first and last name.
JESSERAYMOND.
All right. Ms. Stoll.
Deputy Raymond, where are you employed?
St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you worked there?
Just under 6 years.
What do you do?
Primarily now I'm covering complaint vehicle, meaning I take complaints on the road. I also conduct traffic stops.
Do you have any other experience in law enforcement?
Outside of the Sheriff's Office, no, but I do have other assignments.
Were you on patrol on July 25th of 2025?
Yes, I was.
Okay. What shift?
I was on the day shift. I was assigned to the traffic unit.
What was the general location where you were at?
I was traveling southbound on 131. I was south of Three Rivers. I was just approaching Drummond Road.
All right. Did you see something that caught your attention?
There's moderate traffic that day. I did notice two vehicles that were very close together.
Could you describe the vehicle that was following?
I don't recall.
What did you do after that?
So I had my radar unit activated. I clocked the lead vehicle going approximately 60 miles an hour. I saw the following vehicle was traveling quite close as they passed by. I estimated it to be about a car length behind. I turned around at that intersection and it took me about a half mile to catch up. I caught up to him just before Gleason Road where I conducted a traffic stop.
I'm sorry, forgive me. I'm a little hard of hearing. I didn't catch the tail end of what the witness just stated.
And you caught up half a mile at Gleason Road and then you said something else.
That's where I conducted the traffic stop. It was
Okay.
just south of Gleason, northbound.
Thank you.
And then what did you do after that?
I made contact with Miss Adair. I explained the reason for the traffic stop. Got her license, registration, insurance, and issued a citation.
Is Miss Adair in the courtroom?
Yes, she is.
Could you describe something she's wearing and point her out, please?
She's wearing gold frame glasses and a black shirt.
Let the record reflect that the officers identified the defendant.
It may.
And then did you write Miss Adair a ticket?
Yes, I did.
What for?
For following too closely.
In your experience, was that a reasonable length to keep?
No. I have considerable experience, particularly with traffic crashes where there's rear end collisions. Almost all of those cases, it's a matter of either following too closely or they're unable to stop in a short period of distance.
Objection. I don't think there's a foundation laid for his expertise as being an expert with traffic crashes.
Well, all right. We can establish that. He indicated he'd been an officer 6 years and then traffic enforcement. Madam Prosecutor, would you inquire further about his qualifications in this area?
Deputy Raymond, do you have any sort of special training or experience in traffic accidents?
Just academy training and then just routine experience with traffic crashes. I respond to and investigate crashes as a traffic unit, also as a complaint deputy.
How often do you respond to these accidents and complaints?
I would say on a weekly basis over the last 5.5 years.
How many citations do you think you've actually written?
I couldn't give you a number.
Over hundreds? This is a civil infraction, and he's given his opinion regarding this circumstance. I think he's qualified in the context of a traffic enforcement officer, certainly not an accident reconstructionist or anything, but I'll allow the testimony regarding his opinion about why he wrote this citation.
Thank you, Judge.
You said that you were traveling on US 31 southbound.
Objection asked and answered.
We're just getting back into it. Yeah, it's 131. Go ahead.
Where were you located when you stopped the defendant?
We were on US 131 traveling northbound. We were just south of Leeson Road.
In what township?
That's Fabius Township.
In St. Joseph County, Michigan?
Correct.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Morning, Deputy. I'm going to ask you some questions. If anytime during me asking the questions, if you don't understand or it's not clear, feel free to ask me to clarify. Deputy, you testified that you were the one who stopped my client, Miss Adair, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you recognized her?
Yes.
Okay, but didn't you just testify you didn't know what kind of car she was driving?
Correct.
Okay. Would it help if I showed you the ticket to refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Okay. May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
For, I guess, the jurat. Let me know when you're done looking at the ticket. Is your memory refreshed?
I have the citation for a 2012 Toyota. I don't remember the model of the vehicle. I do remember the Indiana registration.
Would you disagree with me if I told you it was a Toyota Prius?
No.
Okay. So when you testified for the people, you stated that you were going in the opposite direction, right?
Correct.
And you just testified that my client was driving a Toyota. Do you know what the vehicle was that was in front of her?
I don't recall.
Okay. Would you have any reason to doubt me if I said it was a GMC pickup?
No.
Okay. But you did catch the distance between that vehicle and my client.
Correct.
Okay. And you remember that there was one car length.
Correct.
Okay. Did you provide any video recordings to the people? Like body wear cam or dash cam?
I did not. I don't know if my clerk's did or not.
Okay. So would it surprise you if it was provided? Okay. And do you recall what you said to Miss Adair when you approached her vehicle?
Yes, I do.
Can you share with me what you said?
Yeah. So I asked her for her license, registration, and insurance, which she provided me. I informed her that she was following the vehicle in front of her too closely. I told her that they were traveling close to the speed limit, and given that speed, that was too close to be following the vehicle in front of her.
Would you doubt me if I just stated that you stated at the time that the courts have found that you need to be traveling one car length per 10 miles per hour?
I did say that to her, not as a.
What authority are you relying on for that statement? When I say authority, legal authority.
I was using it as an education piece.
So you just made it up?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, where'd you get it from?
I don't recall.
Okay. So you read this, you're familiar with the statute, right?
So
And what does it use?
You must be no closer than reasonable and prudent to the vehicle.
Reasonable, prudent person. Are you familiar with, you're familiar with the State of Michigan Secretary of State, right? Okay. Are you familiar with a publication that they put out called What Every Driver Must Know?
I'm familiar with it. I don't recall any text in it.
Would you doubt me if I said it doesn't say anything about a car length for every 10 miles? Okay. I'll help you. It doesn't.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Well, the officer accepted the answer that he accepted that he is familiar with that publication, which every Michigan driver has to review before they take their driver test. I'll allow it. It's not damaging really either way.
As a matter of fact, well, let me back up. Would you doubt me if that publication takes into account what is considered the reasonable distance between two traveling vehicles? Okay, would you doubt me if it says that you need to take into account the vehicles, the drivers, condition of the road, weather conditions?
Wouldn't doubt you at all.
Okay. You interestingly didn't testify to, you talked about moderate traffic, but do you remember the weather conditions that day?
Yep.
Okay, what were they?
It was a clear day, dry roadway.
There was no rain, was there? Mhm. Okay, and do you know that you recall on the side that my client was driving on, how many vehicles were traveling? About the time that you witnessed these two vehicles going down that road, I'm sorry.
Specific number, I don't recall.
If I played the video, would you doubt me that it was just that vehicle and her vehicle? Okay. As a matter of fact, on your side where you were traveling, where you said you witnessed the cars traveling too close to each other, there was a lot more traffic, or as you said, moderate traffic. Would you doubt me? Okay. Did you notice that, or do you strike that? When you came up behind my client, did you notice the, I guess, double lines, dotted lines in the roadway?
At the location of the traffic stop, I believe it would have been a double line, but I don't recall.
You don't know if my client was attempting to pass that vehicle either, do you? You didn't ask her, did you?
I had turned around and followed the vehicle for approximately half a mile.
Okay.
I'm gonna inject myself a little bit.
I'm sorry, Judge.
I'm gonna inject myself into this to add some context. On the map, run 131 looks like it runs flat, straight, north and south. Is that correct?
It's a relatively hilly section.
Well, that's what I'm gonna ask. It's actually on what's known as the Big Hill. Is that correct? 131 and Drummond Road is on what's known as the Big Hill between Three Rivers and Constantine. Is that correct?
I'm not familiar with the term.
You're not? Okay. Anyway, it's a big hill and it's common. Well, maybe I'm too old, but there have been many, many accidents there. One time we had two drunk drivers hit each other on the big hill and they were both killed. Anyway, was this on the hill?
A portion of the observation period was, yes.
Okay, so this is a big hill. And so they're both going up the hill at that point. Is that correct?
They had gone up the hill and I had stopped them after descending down.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Anything else, Judge? I'm sorry.
No, I don't know if you've been there, but
Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with.
at any rate, it's on the big hill, and apparently they were headed uphill, and then he stopped them as they headed down.
If I played the video of you turning around, well, is your video activated? It's not running all the time, right, Deputy?
It's running, but it only pre-records a certain time frame before it's activated.
Okay, because I was shared, it was shared with me, the video, but it wasn't shared of, I guess, where you felt that the car lines were too close. But I got a video that shows you stopping the vehicle. I don't know if it would help the court making a decision. If the people don't object, I mean, I'll play the video.
Well, I was hopeful they would play it.
I'm kind of a little surprised, but they can present their case any way they want.
Yes. Yeah, you can present the video to the officer. We have a way to do it.
I'm not technical. I mean, I could set this up there and you can look at it.
Well, we have a way to play it on the big screen, although I'm not sure any of us are technically adept enough to plug it in.
And just so I'm making a record here, Your Honor, the video that I have that was shared with me just reflects the stop. I don't think it actually reflects what the deputy testified to what he witnessed when he was coming the other way. So I don't want you to go through all this laborious effort.
All right, so it doesn't show the actual.
It shows him doing a U-turn and coming up behind the two vehicles, my client being the closer one to him. It doesn't show what what Deputy
Raymond.
James testified to what he witnessed when he was coming the other way. That's why I asked him about if his camera was activated at that time. If there is footage of that, it wasn't shared with me.
What are we seeing here, officer?
So I believe at this time I had already turned around. I was traveling northbound.
Okay.
Like he said, you can't see in the video the time that they initially passed me due to the latency in the activation of my recording.
So you're going down the hill at this point. Is it alleged that she's following too closely at this point?
Yes.
Yes?
Traffic stop. Civil infraction or traffic violation. US 131/Leeson RD Phineas Township.
So this, you can't, I don't believe you can hear anything. The body work camera, this is just a stop, Judge and Madam Prosecutor. If you want to hear the body wear camera about the car length thing. So this is the stop. This is the video of the body camera. Thank you.
75 traffic stop. Indiana commemorative White George X-ray 233 BGX 233. Hello, how we doing? Wonderful. Do you have your license registration? Pardon the traffic. The reason I stopped you and the vehicle in front of you guys were both going about the speed limit. You were right on his tail, so you got to have a little bit of space off of him. Okay. Rule of thumb, there's not really any number on it specifically. The courts have found that about one car length for every 10 miles an hour. So you really should have been 5 or 6 car lengths back behind him at the least. So, okay. You got insurance on the vehicle?
Okay. Thank you for indulging me, Judge.
Thank you. That certainly didn't translate very well to live stream, but they could hear it and I could see the video. I didn't see what was going on the way up the hill, but I could see what was going on the way down the hill. All right. Any further questions for this officer?
No. Thank you, though. Thank you, Deputy. Appreciate it.
Ms. Stoll, do you have any further questions for the officer? Do you have any questions for the officer?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. You can step down. Any further witnesses?
No.
All right. Mr. Spinolio, you wish to call the defendant?
Judge, if you're prepared to make a decision, and being mindful of the court's docket, if you're prepared, I'll waive presenting my client. I mean, the video speaks for itself. I think that the fact what the deputy said,
Thank you. I'm disappointed in that the prosecutor didn't play the video. Have you even viewed it? Have you seen it before?
I saw it, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I would have liked to have seen it as part of the prosecution case because she's right on his tail. The video sunk your boat. You're doing pretty good because they hadn't even looked at the ticket or know what kind of vehicle it was, and his testimony was unclear, and it wasn't clear where it was. It's on the biggest hill in St. Joseph County. But you were right on his tail. I don't know where you were going up the hill, but going down the hill right up until the stop, you were right on his bumper. And it's not a place to pass. Passing is prohibited there for quite some time, going up the hill and down the hill. What the statute actually says, the officer says the rule of thumb is you should give 1 car length for every 10 miles an hour. That is a quote unquote rule of thumb. We've heard it on television commercials and other thing. It isn't in the statute anywhere. What the statute says, the officer quoted it pretty well. The driver of a vehicle shall not follow another vehicle more closely than is reasonable and prudent, having due regard for the speed of the vehicles and the traffic upon and the condition of the highway. So this is a 2-lane highway. It's a state highway with a center line on a large hill, and passing is prohibited going up the hill and down the hill. The speed limit there is 55. He testified that he thought the first car, which he couldn't remember what it was, if he looked at the video, maybe he could have discerned it, was going 60. The ticket says she was following lead vehicle, 1 car length, going 57 miles per hour. This is a civil infraction. You can't go to jail for a civil infraction. And you don't have the right to proof beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to proof beyond a preponderance of the evidence, which is a much easier standard for the prosecutor to meet. It means just barely more than the other side. So I was trying to figure this out, but as soon as I saw the video, in my impression, you were too close behind that truck. So I find that you're responsible for following too closely, and I'm gonna fine you $120. You can pay that today, or I'll give you 30 days to pay it if you need it. Or do you want to pay it today, or you want me to give you an envelope to pay it? All right. We don't have enough trials for young officers to learn that they're going to be subjected to cross-examination. And when a competent attorney comes in and asks questions and makes appropriate objections, it's a lot harder than some layperson trying to do the best they can. So the point being, when you come to court, you should review your police report, you should review the ticket, you should review the video. The video should have been presented, but I'm not doing your case. The defendant actually provided it, which gave the court proof beyond a preponderance that she violated the statute, but you can't sleepwalk through these. This defendant came prepared but I did find the violation. So you can go out to the counter, pay the $120. This will go on your Michigan and eventually Indiana driving record. It's not exactly the crime of the century, but you were too close to the car ahead of you, in my view, after watching the video. All right, we'll be in recess.
Asterisk. This ruling came down to one thing: the legal standard. In a civil infraction, the prosecution doesn't need proof beyond a reasonable doubt, only a preponderance of the evidence. And here, that evidence wasn't the officer's memory or testimony. It was the video. Even after contradictions, uncertainty, and an admitted rule of thumb with no legal basis, the footage showed the defendant following too closely on a prohibited passing hill. That's why the judge found responsibility and imposed the $120 fine. What makes this case matter isn't the outcome, it's the warning. Officers must prepare. Prosecutors must know their evidence. And defendants who come prepared can absolutely shape how a case unfolds. If this courtroom moment surprised you, hit like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns where preparation makes all the difference. Asterisk.